Hey, everybody, and welcome to the Brain Pick a Pro Show, live from Lake Wiley, South Carolina. I'm really excited about today's guest. First of all, thank you guys so much for watching. You've probably seen some of the other episodes. Each week, we interview a different rock star, somebody who is a mover and a shaker, people who are doing business, doing deals. We only have action takers on this show, okay? And they don't hold anything back, okay? Today, I am so excited, is my good friend Deven Wohlend. And Deven is, how old are you now, Deven?
I'm 11 years old.
He's 11 years old, and he started investing in real estate and being an entrepreneur when you were how old?
Age 7.
Age 7. Now, Deven already has written a book, and he's already doing multiple real estate deals. And I met him at the first place I ever met him was at the OREA convention. This was probably what, 3 or 4 years ago, maybe?
I think it was maybe 3 years ago.
Okay. So I met him at the OREA convention, and he impressed me so much, gave him a copy of my course, and was just really excited for him. And come to find out, he was working on a book, and he completed the book, and he asked me if I would write the foreword for it, and I did, and I'm just really excited. And please welcome Deven. What's going on, buddy?
Well, wrote a book, going to multiple speaking engagements, still working on multiple deals.
That's sweet, man. That's sweet. So tell us a little bit about yourself. I mean, how did you get involved in real estate? I know mom and dad are a really big influence, and they've exposed you to a lot of things. So how did you get the bug and get interested in entrepreneurship and real estate?
Well, I started out by playing the game Cash Flow.
Oh, cool. That's the Robert Kiyosaki game, right?
Yep. I also went to multiple RIA meetings. Soon, I read Rich Dad, Poor Dad, and then multiple other investment books. I also went to OREA, which you were just talking about, but actually a year or two before that.
Right.
And soon after I went to OREA for my first time, I bought my first house and kept going.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome. So tell us a little bit about your book.
It's about how I got started in real estate. I have about my first investment, a bunch of other good knowledge about lending, some of the deals I've done, about credit. Overall, a lot of knowledge.
That's really good. That's really good. And it's a very inspirational book too. What's the name of the book?
If I can do it, so can you.
That's awesome. And you sent me a signed copy of it. It was really awesome. And I let someone who was one of my coaching students, they brought their 13-year-old here to the office, and I let him borrow it so he could read it. And I gave him your contact information, so hopefully he'll be reaching out to you as well. So it's really cool to see young men and women out there getting involved in real estate. So tell us a little bit about your first deal. How did your first deal come about, and tell us a little bit about that.
Well, my first investment was actually in Legos.
That's right. I remember reading that in the book. Your first business venture was in Legos. That's a really cool story. Would you mind sharing that?
Yeah. It taught me that I could invest. Maybe not in real estate quite yet, but it taught me that I could invest. I also learned to take action. Before I actually bought it, I was saving money to buy it, but it ended up taking too long. I could have borrowed the money and made even more money after interest. I also could have been more creative. I could have partnered to hit the money faster. Another thing I learned was always hire professionals.
That's good.
I tried to save money by using a more local place to sell my Death Star instead of eBay, which sells pretty much everywhere.
Right.
I did this because I did not want to pay eBay's 10% commission. I didn't sell my set before LEGO released a new Death Star, and prices went way down. I saw the deal and did not act, even though I was pretty sure it would be a good deal.
Right.
I don't get analysis paralysis anymore. If there's a good deal that gets me closer to my goal, I act immediately. I'm very glad I purchased the Lego Death Star for my first investment. It was much cheaper to make mistakes there than on a house or apartment building. If you want to invest, but if you keep thinking you just need to learn one more small thing, start small. I know a few of the people that work for my parents' companies start on mobile homes. You can make very high returns with very little money invested. I've done multiple of these. The ROI may be more than 100%, but still only a few $1,000s. That way, even if it doesn't work out and you decide real estate isn't for you, it's not a big deal. It's much better than losing money on a house or apartment building.
Exactly. That is so true. Now, your parents have really inspired you, and I know they've helped you a lot. I've met your parents, and so tell us about what do they do?
They own hundreds of rental units. They've owned storage units, mobile home parks, a part of an airport at one point in time.
Sweet. That's awesome. That's really, really cool. Now, and you're not an only child either. You have some siblings, right?
I have one little brother.
Okay. Is he interested in entrepreneurship?
Yes, he is. He owns quite a few rental units also.
That's really cool. And how old is he?
He's 9 right now.
He's 9, and he owns quite a few rental units. Man, I love it. So, tell us a little bit about, what would you say to encourage someone just off the cuff, just in your own words? What would you say to someone out there who's watching this? Maybe it's not someone your age, but maybe it's even a parent or a grandparent of someone. What would you say to that parent or grandparent to get their child or grandchild interested in business, entrepreneurship, and real estate?
Take action.
Take action.
Can't buy your second until you buy your first deal.
That's great. And your parents have been a real big encouragement to you over the years, right?
They have.
What do you think are some things that they did to help get you interested and get you to the point where you are right now?
Well, like I said, they got me started by playing the game Cash Flow. So, they kind of got me thinking this like a game. And I was doing the same things that I do now in the game Cash Flow.
Right.
That way I could learn, but it's a way that's easier for me.
Uh-huh. Cool. You could learn without the risk.
Yeah, more or less.
That's really cool. That's good. So your first venture was selling Legos. You made an investment into a Death Star, right?
Yes.
And tell us about how that worked out. You bought it, how much you bought it for, what you did, how you sold it, and that sort of thing.
So Lego, the company that makes it, retires their sets after a certain amount of time.
Right.
And usually the price doubles. And I realized that on multiple other sets that I might have wanted for, say, a Christmas present.
Right.
And then I saw this one, which is the biggest set I ever put together. And I was like, I think they might retire this soon. They've had this set on the market for quite a while.
Right.
And, well, then they did retire it, and I hadn't saved enough money to buy it. But I ended up buying it for around $500.
Wow.
And, yeah. Instead of the $400 it would have cost me, so that's quite a bit more.
Right.
And I haven't actually sold it yet, so I don't have those numbers.
So what are some of them selling for currently? Do you know?
I think around $500.
Oh,
because
really?
they released a new Death Star set that's very close to what I have.
Oh, okay. So you still have that investment. You held on to it. So now tell us a little bit about your first venture into real estate.
I bought my first house using only my knowledge, creativity, and a little bit of money I earned from my part-time job.
That's cool.
Yeah, it was a nice house. It was near where I lived. I bought it for $50,000
Uh-huh.
and got a loan from a private lender. And I thought, based on what my numbers were, I thought it was worth about $80,000.
Uh-huh.
So that's a pretty good deal to me. And
So you bought it for 50, you borrowed private money, and do you still hold that property? Is it a rental property for you?
yes, it is. I do own it, and it is a rental property.
That's good. Now, what kind of cash flow are you getting on it?
Currently, if I remember correctly, it's about $995 a month.
$9.95. Good. $9.95, and then you have the private money lender that you pay, so you still have a net positive cash flow.
Yes.
That's great. That's really, really, really good. I like that. So you mentioned a minute ago that you have a part-time job. Tell us about that.
It's working for my parents at their office or working on book work.
Okay. What kind of work do you do for your parents?
Reconciling statements, working on loans, packaging checks. Not too advanced. Working on taxes this time of year.
Man, I just think this is awesome. You're like, I'm reconciling statements. I'm working on taxes this time of year. Nothing too complicated. It's awesome, man. Most 11-year-olds, a lot of 21-year-olds don't know how to do that stuff. And that's really, really cool. Your parents have exposed you to this and gotten you involved in this, and that's really, really cool. But you have to have the desire to do it yourself. Like you said, the number one thing is to take action, right?
Yes.
Good.
Be creative and take action.
That's really cool. Be creative and take action. Yeah. How did you find this deal that you bought for 50,000? Was it a for sale by owner? Or was it online, or did your parents help you, or how did you find that deal?
It was a company that my parents knew. I saw the for sale sign because I was driving past it, and I saw the for
You
sale
mean
sign.
you were riding past it?
Well,
Your parents were
my
driving.
parents, yeah,
That's cool, man. I love it.
yeah,
Good. So you saw the for sale sign and you called the seller and negotiated the deal, right?
correct.
That's good. That is good. Now, do you get involved in screening your tenants and stuff like that as well?
I hire a management company, but that is one that my family owns. So
Uh-huh.
I do work there, so I understand that better.
Uh-huh. That's good. That's good. So would you recommend people do their own management or outsource it?
Uh,
Outsource it like to a
yeah,
separate company.
yeah. I'd say it depends on how much you own. If you own a lot more, it's probably better to hire somebody.
Right.
Eventually, it's just very hard to manage your own. But if you have a small amount, you probably could.
Mm-hmm. That's really good. That's really good. So you've done some other deals since that first one, correct?
Yes.
How many deals have you done so far?
I know I own 23 units right now.
23 units right now. That's really cool. I love it. I love it. That's great. So there's a lot of people watching that, like I said, they've got a child or a grandchild or something like that. And what are some things that parent or grandparent can do to encourage that child? Some things like get them involved in the day-to-day operations? Because it's obvious that your parents have you right in the thick of things, right?
Yeah, more or less. You have to, it depends on what the child or the person you're trying to teach likes. Because at my age, they got me playing the game Cash Flow.
Right.
Oh, that to me was more of a game.
Uh-huh.
But to some kids, it would be different.
Right.
So it would probably depend on the kid.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really good. So what you're saying is by starting out and making it fun, it was interesting to you and it kept your attention.
Yes.
That's really good. That is really good. So what does a typical day look like for you?
A typical day, it completely depends. Like today, Wednesday, I'm usually going to at least one or possibly both of the investment meetings because around here we have 2 meetings that go on Wednesday.
Right.
So, yeah.
So you go to your local investors meetings. It might be a meetup or a real estate investors group or something like that.
Yep.
So you go to that so you can learn and network and find other private money and other deals and stuff, right?
Correct.
Excellent. Excellent. That's good. And when you're not going to RIA meetings, what are you doing typically during the day? I'm assuming that you're homeschooled, right?
Correct.
Yeah, I kind of figured since, where we're recording this, it's 11 o'clock on a Wednesday, so I would assume you're homeschooled.
Yeah. Yes, I am homeschooled, so I would be doing schoolwork for part of it.
Uh-huh.
But one of the things I have for schoolwork is investing. So I could look at a deal, look at more investment, or go to investment meetings, like I said, watch different investment podcasts and things like yours.
That's good. That is good. That is good. So, Deven, what's in store for the future for you? I mean, you already said that you're even doing some traveling and speaking at investors meetings and stuff like that. You're just really inspiring people and teaching people and helping them. What's next for Deven?
Well, this fall I think I'm gonna be going to college.
Wow. This fall you're going to college?
Probably.
That's really cool. I love it. I love it. And being only 11, you're going to college. So what are some things you plan to study in college?
Entrepreneurship, that more or less, some other basic things, science.
Right. The regular stuff. Right?
Not really regular, but for me, yeah.
Right. Right. That's good, man. I love it. I love it. So, Deven, who are some people that inspire you?
Some people that inspire me.
Yeah. Like people you look up to, people you learn from that inspire you.
My parents, another good one would be Robert Kiyosaki.
Right.
Like you said, he made Cash Flow. He also wrote Rich Dad, Poor Dad, which is one of my first investment books that I read.
Good.
And Speakers at Oria, a lot, which, yeah.
That's good. That's good. What would you say is your favorite book? Would you say it's Rich Dad, Poor Dad?
Favorite book? Yes, Rich Dad, Poor Dad.
Okay, good. Do you have any other favorites that are on your list that you like?
I have to think. I like quite a few different random books, mainly just for fun.
Right.
But I think Rich Dad, Poor Dad is my favorite.
That's good. That's good.
Oh, one more favorite.
Sure.
My book.
I love it. Let's see your book. Hold it up. Let's see what it looks like. That's good. So how would our viewers and listeners get a copy of that?
The They can go to if I can, so can you book.com.
Uh-huh.
And that will give you information about the book. There's a link to Amazon there, so you can buy it if you want. There's other things you can learn there.
That's great. That's really, really good. So it's if I can, so can you book.com.
Correct.
That's great. And you've got some training there, some education. Now you put together a class that you teach at RIA groups, didn't you?
I'm going to be teaching.
That's
Yes.
good. That's good. That is really, really good. I'm really proud of you. So there might even be some RIA group leaders that are watching this that might want to book you to come to their group and speak. I know for about 15 years, I traveled around the country teaching at RIA groups all over. So, and it was a lot of fun. You got to travel. And so I think that's something that you're going to do really, really good at. If someone wanted to reach out to you, maybe a group leader or something like that, how would they contact you? Or is it best just to go to the website?
Yes. Okay, so Deven at clearskytrainer.com.
Okay, say that one more time.
DEVEN
Uh-huh.
at CLEARSKYTRAINER. Yep.
Deven at clearskytrainer.com.
Yes.
That's really cool. How did you come up with that name?
Since it's for training people, it's the training company, Clear Sky Training.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, Clear Sky Trainer. So I got a training email
Awesome.
that way.
That's really cool. I like it.
Yeah.
That's really good. So, Deven, do you have any kind of parting words for anyone watching this that wants to get started in real estate or help a child or grandchild get started in real estate?
Well, if I can do it, so can you.
I love it. I love it. That is great. Well, Deven, I really, really appreciate you being on today. This has been really cool. It's been a lot of fun. And thank you so much for taking the time out of your busy schedule to be able to sit with me for a little bit and share some of your knowledge, some of your wisdom, and information about your book. And I've read your book. I think it's phenomenal. It's very, very easy to read, and it's very down to earth, and it's very practical. And I urge everybody watching or listening, go to if I can, so can you book.com, and don't just buy one copy, buy 5, 10, 20 copies. Take them to your child's school. You know, tell your child to give them out to their friends. Take them to church and give them out to youth pastors, youth ministers. I mean, I think you need to get 5, 10, 20 or more copies of this book and share it, because Deven, you're a big inspiration and you're helping a lot of people, and I'm really proud of you. You're going to do great things in this world.
Thank you, Larry. And thank you so much for having me on.
You're very welcome. I'm really glad you took the time today, and thank you so much. Thanks a lot for watching, everybody.